I'm ready for more.
And the Lord said, who shall I send? And you answered, saying, I am here, send me. Your devotion pleases me greatly, but it pleases the Lord even more. Another lost sheep has been located. You know what to do.
Find him, follow him, get the diamonds and bring him back.
From the mouth of babes. You have ordained strength to still the enemy and become the Avenger.
What verse is that?
The word of God does not always come in the form of chapter and verse. Where did you go?
What do you think you're doing? This isn't your ride. I've got one last job before we wrap things up. Amita needs to go. It's the will of Kira. It's the only way to spare Kirat from more bloodshed. Hey. She's just another pagan. Do what needs to be done, brother.
Oh, RJ, I can almost see your furrowed brow from here.
Pagan, what do you want?
Oh, I'm merely calling to check up on you. I hear your little friends are having a bit of a spat. It must be hard, what with you in the middle of it all. Choices are difficult. Trust me, I've been there. In fact, you should be grateful for the choices I've made. Choices, of course, you're in a hurry, places to go, shit to tear up. I'll let you get back to it. But don't forget, RJ, choices have consequences.
You. He sent you to kill me. I knew it'd come to this, but you?
Who else pulls the trigger around here?
Good point. Sabal hides behind his blind faith in tradition, and you follow along like one of his subjects. I actually believed you when you said all you wanted to do was honor your mother's dying wish. Go on, son of Mohan, savior of Kirat. Follow your orders, pull the trigger. I'm sure it's the will of Kira.
I'm sorry, but you doing way more bad than he is. If he is as bad as you are, I'm hoping I get the chance to kill his ass too. Y'all degrading all the values that the case of the Golden Path could go on. Why even do that in the first place if it's rest in the chair? I don't believe my man is bonded by that. I feel like he's bonded by a sense of crazy maybe morals, but not true bad means or morals to say the least.
Amita's taken care of.
It's not for me to judge her now, brother. The gods will do that. You have a dictator to kill and a war to end.
Story that can be respected in the Golden Path more than another. So yeah, I mean that's just me. With that being said, but yeah, it's good.
Salam, beta Ajay.
Hold on.
Our ancestors lived off the land and hunted. And what am I doing?
It's already good.
Freedom and eating rations in a can.
I always keep some jerky in my pocket, just in case I get hungry.
Finally,
Yeah.
no more arguments, no more spinning in circles.
Ajay, we've been waiting for you. Everybody is rallying for one final push. We're hitting Pagan's fortress. It won't be easy. I heard about Amita. Whatever you're feeling, just know that Sabal only wants what's best for Kirat.
Yes, you begging me!
We have to get going.
We're heading your way now. We're on our way to you.
We have the armory!
Hold tight. We're coming.
We've secured the communications room! They won't be able to call for reinforcements now!
Don't give them an inch!
headquarters! They're mounting a counterattack! Hold the fortress!
What the fuck?
That's it! We've beaten back the counterattack! Bring it down! Dash to Pagan Min!
Long live the Golden Pass!
Really, RJ? What do you have against my likeness? All those posters, Eric, my double, and now this. Am I missing a hint? Should I start taking this personally? That statue was solid fucking gold. Literally. I'm not being metaphorical. Do you know how many artifacts I had to melt down to get it made? And poor Eric standing there for God knows how long just to pose for it. Well, what's done is done. And dinner's nearly ready.
Ball, I got the gate open. I'm heading for the palace.
The Royal Guard is counterattacking. We can't support you.
I'm going in.
Kira be with you, brother.
Through desert dust and you still owe me something more than this. The road that leads to you, as long as it is cruel, the rust and bones and trees and stones and shit.
Come in. I apologize for the austerity. I sent the help home. Chances are you shot them on your way in. Now, before we begin, to whom am I speaking? The son who returned to scatter his mother's ashes, or the lunatic who has murdered his way to the top of my mountain? If I was speaking to the first guy, then I would say, sit down. Let's be civilized. Enjoy some food. But we tried that before, didn't we? At our first meeting? You sat right here. Paul was off applying voltage to the nipples of your rude little +1. I stood just like this. And what were my exact words? Stay here, enjoy the crab rangoon, don't move, I'll be right back. Now, if you had just listened, just waited for me, then we would have come back here straight away, together, and scattered your mother's ashes. So then you must be the second guy. You didn't listen. Decided instead to join the other monkeys and start throwing his shit around. But I'll tell you what. I call a do-over. I say you have two choices. One, you could shoot me, boring, or you could sit down, enjoy some food, and you and I will go scatter your mother's ashes together.
I believe how he comes off, he's telling the truth. So I'm not gonna kill him. Man, I feel like that's just a waste in whatever interaction can be in the second ending. Boss fight, I don't know. I mean, this man, Pagan Man, allows evil and callous, fuck shit things. Right, he's a flavor person. But I honestly think he's as evil in comparison to the greater deal of like video game villains. Definitely not a good person, not a sane one, man. It's a delirious madness person. He's chaotic.
You're just giving away your country, right? It's yours. It's always been yours. Kyrat is yours. I pulled you off the bus in the first place to pass it on to you. I suppose you could take it back. You're halfway there. One down, one to go. Not that I want to put ideas in your head. At least now we know you have a taste for doing what it takes. Well, no more putting it on.
My mom would just scatter my mom's ashes and fold. This is not my fight. I got nothing to do with this.
Well, come on. And
it really feels like your uncle. I like how he holds himself.
You do realize that urn represents all that's left of the old Ajay. The pre-Kyrat Ajay. Once you spread those ashes, all the ties you have to that previous life are gone. And then what happens? Well, I suppose you could do what I did after Mohan killed Lakshmana.
This person.
Oh, you didn't know that, did you? Huh. Yes, your father killed your half-sister, and then your mother killed him in return. I simply continued where she left off. I killed so many people for them. But then I realized I was only using Lakshmana's death as an excuse to do whatever I wanted to do. Just as you use those ashes as an excuse to do whatever you want to do.
Somewhere drug.
God damn it, it isn't fun. Well, you finally
that's a very sociopathic way to see things, though.
You know, the one and only time I walked into this place. I came in a sane man and came out like this. You will come out a king. Go on, then.
I guess.
Do what you came here to do.
The place her actually next to the kid, her other child. His half sister, that's her. In loving memory of Lakshmana, 1988 to 1989. Billy killed her when she was 1 year old, basically. That's unfortunate. And AJ was born, like, what, 1986, 87? So if she was alive here, Shawty would legit just be like only like a few years younger than me. Last thing. Through God's sake, he's saying that my father killed my little sister. I want to know. 1986, another brutal fight. I don't know. 1988. I'm losing the war of my marriage, Ashari, and I fight constantly about everything and nothing. I can't bear to return home after being out in the field. I would prefer the sting of a bullet to her constant scorn. She's frustrated that I've kept her away from the fighting. Kept her, she says, from contributing. I'm going to send her to the Royal Palace, put her into the Tiger's Den. Let her see what men has done to Kurat for herself before she judges me so harshly. Oh, God, AJ. That everything I've done is for you. All I've ever wanted is for you to grow up in a safe and prosperous country. But that goal required sacrifice. I regret that I wasn't there to see your first steps or hear your first words. But the burden of command leaves little room for sentiment or instruction. Your mother used to get upset when I spoke about your future training. But if this war should outlive me, you must be ready to assume my position. The future of Kurat is in your hands. Oh, God. Did he accidentally kill her? Because the thing is, Pagan Man always talking about how he was with my mother. I'm taking either he and my mother had a one-night thing, because I don't think he's the type of motherfucker like to seduce her, rape her, some random wild shit. And these actually her ashes right here. That's crazy. Okay? You know, she was like actually buried under this and all that. But no. She actually is just ashes. Rest in peace. But anyway, like, I'm taking that if my mother truly went about these ideals of wanting the best for Kurat, but then somehow got with Pagan, is that Pagan at one point was not as bad as everything was shown. He still is not a good person, but I'm taking the way he changed to this more uneasy, unseasoned mind, downright disgustingly wild individual where he would plummet the entire country into disarray, is because Mohan killed my half-sister, aka the daughter of him and his ex-wife, or his wife at the time. And my mom had an affair with Pagan men because she saw... I'm not talking about you. She, yo, get out of my record. That's my actual mom, Vicky. She keep being annoying. Anyway, like I was saying, so my character's mother had a affair with Pagan men. And then from there, I'm taking that she had more lightness for him. Mohan didn't like that. So Mohan, to get back at him, when she had his baby, he killed her to set a record straight. Nah, man, you can't, be with my wife and I ain't gonna get back at you. He slided on their child, right? And killed her. That was her. And then that's the reason why my mom left and everything. And then like how Pagan was gonna go down it, because Pagan has always despised Mohan Ghale, and that's why everything coursed the way it is. So she left Kurat with me by her side and raised me in America, and then everything else is here. But then he died, so either Pagan killed him, or did my mother do it? Well, Regardless, man. R.I.P. Mom. I understand why you did everything you did. I love you. Beautiful music. R.I.P. Mom. R.I.P. little sister. This nigga on a helicopter?
All choices have consequences, RJ. I've given you Kyrat, but I'm keeping the helicopter.
Bye, uncle. Or stepfather. You know, I could kill him here, but I ain't gonna do that. I guess this is mine now. Busting story to say the least. Not so busting to the point where, you know, it peaks of saying this is a Far Cry 3, but very good. You know, Far Cry Prime was my first Far Cry game. Go to Far Cry 3. People proclaim to be the best in the series, which probably will stay the same. That probably will be the case. I think that this game has this mix, like, pros and cons. I think gameplay and almost every other aspect of it, in the little tap-ins to mythology, folklore, legend, religion, is beautiful. But I think Pagan Min carries the game a lot, as like I probably would expect all antagonists of Far Cry in some way to do. But it's mainly because he be moving in ways that you wouldn't expect him to, and his whole entire direction is so much of a anti the norm of villainy that I think is super interesting, because there's a lot more play of right and consideration with him. And even though he's not the best leader, even though he is crazy, even though my man is definitely not a sane, normal person, he's not very much more sociopathic and crazed, delirious wildcat that maybe we could say someone like Vaz, Hoyt, or Citra is. Because Citra, I haven't played all the Far Cry games. Far Cry 5, I'm going to play that, and then 6, you know, whatever comes next after that. But Citra definitely probably is the most evil antagonist of Far Cry, bro. I'm just going to keep it a buck, like that ass, bro. But, yeah, like, I don't know. I think also, like, the side villains in tie with Pagan Min, not really, you know, like, real interesting shit. Like, the Paul, I don't really like him. Noir, I feel more sympathetic to. And the only thing interesting about her is Shana Farina. Yuma was interesting, but I feel like we could have seen more of her to understand her, I guess. But she just kind of whatever, right? I mean, her technical boss fight is cool or whatever, I guess. But yeah, Pagan Min, he carries a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole fucking way, the entire fucking way, to be honest. And yeah, that's pretty much it, gang. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's just like not the most interesting record of story as it could have been, but I think it's cool, and you know, tying all that shit together, probably do some deeper reading, you know, will be fine. I think like the whole conflict of who should be leading the Golden Path between Amita and Sabal was interesting, but wasn't as super enticing and spicy as it could have been, because it's more deliberate wrong on one or the other. And I feel like there's not really any strong essence of real purpose to these people, because you can't get into them, you can't understand them, you can't get an underlying greater form of antithesis or message from them, because you don't see exactly what they're talking about. Like, Kyrat doesn't have this and this, we don't see that, we don't hear people talking about it as much, and if we do, it doesn't give actual substantiation to rationalize these activities in correspondence with it. There's better choices with Sabal more than Amita. And also, like, if Sabal is as bad as Amita, because here's the thing, I see Amita as a person that wants to make the best gauges of this and this for Kyrat, but doesn't actually understand the process, the transition, the correspondence into shit. Sabal, on the other hand, even though he has some mixed bag and not necessarily the greatest ideals, his tradition or his beliefs, you could say, are objectively flawed or fundamentally weird, but he has a better sense of trajectory and progression with the people. The people are rallying together, they're flourishing, they're pushing, they're doing whatever they need to in the grand scope of prospering, so that these people, below them or not, can do other greater things. The king is dead. Really, he's not. It is what it is here.
Sabal, it's done.
Good, brother. It's finally over. I can't believe it. Did you find Lakshmana?
Yeah, I found it small. My mom's at rest now. Thank you.
Kirat's free, brother. Mohan's at rest too now, because of you. Come on home. I could use a right-hand man to bring Kirat back to its roots.
So,
Hello, David. Oh, Mr. Gale. Well, I guess that's it then. No more mayhem and destruction. I need up the old rocket launcher. All right. I really love what you've done with the place. It'll be sad to see you go.
Put it on the shelf, as it were. Gathering dust.
Unless...
Some unfinished business, perhaps. Loose ends, isn't it? Or people to kill? That's what I just said, Donald. It's Yogi, you prat. Smoke?
Smoke?
Not this time.
taking that translates to like epilogue or after stuff of the game. Man, I didn't expect us to go and finish the game like we did here. I really love the soundtrack, yo. But if I had to like say, like the two people that
Now that Pagan is gone, his forces at Rajka are confused and disorganized. You should strike while the iron is hot and seize the fortress of the Golden Path.
But I was basically gonna just like say that the way the story has went was like trying to give us like a mixed gray, lesser of two evils or morals type of path. I just feel like wasn't the best because first of all, you can't even salvage so much big truth or not for both of them. There's also to credit the fact that like even with some different points on both sides to bring good, it just doesn't really sound right or reasonable. Amita is deliberately bad, and the thing is, if Sabal really is going to do the things that he does, which we haven't seen, then he's bad too. I mean, the idea of a child marrying at such a young age, being forced into shit, that's not okay. Him going to hit a woman like Amita, that's not okay. Even if she is in the wrong, right? I'm just saying though, like I can't salvage remorse because they're not the most likable characters. Like Amita, and I feel that much likableness. I feel like she's just very ignorant and annoying, right? In the grand scheme when you think about what she's doing. So that's where Sabal is right. But Sabal is like very unproudfully the most uninteresting and unsalvageable like character to get into. I feel like I'm not even trying to say that he's bad or whatever, like I just said. It's just he's never going to pull that much case of like real weight for me to give a damn about. Because what weight can you gain from that dude? He's just literally just a guy doing everything he does on the stem of tradition, which is reasonable, and he wants the best for it, but I can't find very finance to this man. And he knows all this stuff about involving, you know, my father, but doesn't teach me. Never explores or explains some of his beliefs beyond the credit of that it would do maybe something good, but not to the extent that would be good on the grander, greater scope. And I just all around can't respect him because what respect can I give to somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of that simple. But yeah. Regardless though, hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, mommy. Bye, y'all.